Hello from the lookout. Look who I got with me tonight. Teresa's home from the hospital and Sid is on her lap and Sid is happy. Yeah, we're all happy that Teresa's home. Thank you all for your prayers. Please don't quit now, but she's doing good. She's doing good. Thank you. This is God's word for today, from the lookout to the holler, from life's highest places to its lowest points. I tried to make this video out by Lake Michigan earlier, and Teresa and I both went to the eye doctor. We had our eyes dilated, and it was bright out there, and I just couldn't read. Sorry about that. Okay, this is Psalm 119, selected verses from Psalm 119. Verse 25, I lie in the dust, revive me by your word. 34, give me understanding, and I will obey your instructions. I will put them into practice with all my heart. 40, I long to obey your commandments. Renew my life with your goodness. 49 and 50, remember your promise to me. It is my only hope. Your promise revives me. It comforts me in all my troubles. 59, I pondered the direction of my life, and I turned to follow your laws. 74, may all who fear you find in me a cause for joy, for I have put my hope in your word. And again, remember, may all who fear, or may all who reverence you, find in me a cause for joy, for I have put my hope in your word. 89, your eternal word, O Lord, stands firm in heaven. 96 and 97, even perfection has its limits, but your commands have no limit. Oh, how I love your instructions. I think about them all day long. 104 to 106, your commandments give me understanding. No wonder I hate every false way of life. Your word is a lamp to guide my feet and a light for my path. I've promised it once and I'll promise it again. I will obey your righteous regulations. You are my refuge and my shield. Your word is my source of hope. 132 and 33. Come and show me your mercy as you do for all who love your name. Guide my steps by your word so that I will not be overcome by evil. 140, your promises have been thoroughly tested. That is why I love them so much. 143, as pressure and stress bear down on me, I find joy in your commands. 160, the very essence of your words is truth. All your just regulations will stand forever. 162, I rejoice in your word like one who discovers a great treasure. 164, I will praise you 7 times a day because all your regulations are just. So, you are what you think about. I am what I think about. And what we think about can change. Okay, what we think about can change over the course of our lives. Let's look back over our lives. Let's find some threads. Now, if you will, when I was 8, I went to a child evangelism fellowship camp and responded to the invitation to welcome Jesus into my life. And there was a new thread. Mom and I went to church, and I continued going to the child evangelism camp for many years. In my teen years, I was reading Charles Spurgeon morning and evening, and I started journaling. I wanted to be what I was reading about, but I was also a teen, and I was angry. I don't know why, I was just angry. And I kept turning to my relationship to God. I kept returning there. When I would fail, I would sense a tug to confess and be right with God. And I would fail a lot, I'm afraid. Then I had a girlfriend who went to the Nazarene church there in Liberal. It was a new world for me. Here were people who really tried to live out their faith. And I heard this word, sanctification, that God could do the work of cleansing my spirit. I talked to the pastor. I wanted to understand, and I kept reaching out to the Lord. A friend of me, in an offhand comment, he said, I should go to Bethany Nazarene College, SNU now, Southern Nazarene. In an offhand comment, he said, you ought to go with me. And I went. And I heard more of God's direction and plan for my life. And I met my girlfriend there. And boy, am I glad I did. Yeah. There was this constant thread, God's word, God's love. And I wanted so much to be a man of God. Fast forward, marriage, kids, youth and music ministry, constantly longing to apply God's word to my life, constantly longing to be who God wanted me to be. In the ups and downs, successes and failures, wanting more of God, wanting to be more like God. As a youth pastor, constantly looking for ways to connect young people to this thread of faith that was still part of my life. Believing, challenging, encouraging, and sometimes failing to be who I wanted to be, but always wanting to draw them along with threads of faith. Now, I'm still aware of several who were in the youth group 30 years later. Seriously, with joy. Okay, I am aware of those who have kept the thread of faith going personally and for their families. And then there are others who are angry, and life has not been as good or as kind as they had hoped. And so instead of turning to the Lord, they've turned to anger. And so we all have choices to make. As you look back over your story, do you see the threads of your thinking, of your faith? Why do I keep talking in terms of threads, as if our faith is something so fragile that it could snap at any time? Well, let's be real. Any one thread of faith is fragile. As we read through the verses in Psalm 119, we see the writer try to bring home the importance of God's word over the longest chapter in the Bible. I read several of his thoughts today. Most of us can remember singing that your word is a lamp to guide my feet and a light for my path. And then our life. So yes, God's word is a lamp, and it's a light. God's word is living. It is active. And there are thousands of threads in his words pointing to Jesus, reminding us of his unfailing love, giving us instructions for life, how to live and how to please God, telling us to love him with all of our heart and soul and mind and our strength, and to love others. And there are threads that let us know that God has a plan for our lives, good plans, even though we will, I wrote may and then I scratched through it, we will face hard and difficult days. And on those days, all the threads of faith come together in a strong rope to hold us fast. And we will still get to choose what we think about and what we hold on to. The good news of the gospel is that Jesus never, ever lets go. His promises are true. His word is true. He is able to help us hold on. So, continue the thread of faith and hold on. God bless you.